If I was gonna make a video on pho, what would it look like?
We've all had beef and chicken pho. You know, with that rich broth.
But that's kind of basic.
I'm looking for something a little more exciting, more unique. I'd be talking to chefs, experiencing street food, and even a Michelin restaurant.
It's gotta be fun, crazy, and full of surprises.
Pho Poutine? Oh yeah, that sounds crazy.
But honestly, I don't need to make a video about pho. It's already been done.
Hey foodie friends, this video will change the way you think about pho forever. This is what the pho I'm talking about. And it all begins right here.
Hey foodie friends, so here we are at our first location to kick things off. We're gonna do something a little more familiar as we work our way up to the most unique pho in Saigon. So let's go in and have a taste. Right now we're here with the chef, the mastermind behind this, and I just wanted to ask, how long does it take to make this broth, the stew?
Thường thường thì em sẽ chuẩn bị trong khoảng ướp thịt bò trong khoảng tầm 3 tiếng, xong em sẽ đem ra nấu với 2 lần lửa. Lần trước đầu tiên sẽ là khoảng 2 tiếng đồng hồ. Sau khoảng một thời gian để nguội em sẽ đun lại khoảng 2 tiếng nữa, sẽ ra được một tô phở như hiện tại.
Alright, so here we are with our first dish here. This is the Pho Sot Vang, also known as the pho red wine, because this is cooked in the red wine broth. That's why you can see the broth is actually got a little red hue to it. So outside is covered with the top with a lot of cilantro and green onions. The beef here, instead of thin sliced or chopped up, it's actually thick chunks. So it's almost like a beef stew, but the meat they use is beef shank as well. So this is very similar to what you get in like a beef stew. So the origin of this is actually from the French colonial times. So what they did was took the French ragu, don't get it mixed up with the Italian ragu, but then the French ragu stew, which is a red wine stew, and they took that and added some Vietnamese spices and added the noodles in, and then voila, this is what you get here. Some chunky, meaty, stewy beef noodle soup. So this looks really good and it smells better than it looks, so I can't wait to dive right in. Oh wow, that's really good. All right, so after the first taste, the broth is very different from what you get from a regular bowl of pho. The soup is much deeper and it has like a bit of a sweet, tangy taste to it. It's almost like a stew. Compared to a regular pho, this broth is definitely much deeper and much more rich in flavor. Oh yeah. You can actually taste all the spices that you would get in a pho broth, you know, with the starness, the cinnamon, the cloves, all that is infused with the broth as well, so you can taste all that. The herbs are about the same, but the meat is just so big, thick chunks. It's really good. And do you guys actually use wine in this, or is it just a part of the name?
Trong đó có một phần gia vị là dùng bằng rượu vang để nấu.
Thank you so much for your time and thank you for this. It's delicious.
Cảm ơn anh.
All right, so all this here is only for 80,000 Vietnamese dong. So is it worth it? I think so. It's a little more pricier than your average pho, just in general, but with all that love and labor put into this bowl, you know, with all that stewing that takes probably over 24 hours. So this here is worth it, definitely. Here we are at the next stop for the pho, and this place is pretty interesting. We got our noodles here, which is pink. It's a specialty from Dalat. This is an artichoke pho.
Cái cảm hứng để làm cái phở Atiso Đà Lạt này là từ con trai của chị. Khi mà bạn còn học sinh là chị hay hầm cái sườn non với lại cái thân cây Atiso. Và bạn ăn cái đó nó rất là bổ dưỡng và rất là mát. Mỗi lần bạn đi học mệt về bạn ăn cái đó xong là bạn thấy khỏe. Atiso Đà Lạt nó là một cái đặc sản của Đà Lạt. Bên cạnh đó thì bạn cũng rất là thích phở. Về ẩm thực thì Đà Lạt đang chưa có một cái món nào đặc sản của Đà Lạt cả. Vào một cái ngày đẹp trời thì bạn nghĩ là tại sao lại không có làm phở bò từ thân cây Atiso.
There we go. This is a big bad boy right here. Fell right off the bone. Oh my god. That's good. So soft. So the broth is very southern style, more on the sweet side than it is savory or clear. but it is a nice beefy, sweet pho broth. You don't taste too much of the artichoke in the broth as well, but all this together, and it's just with the beautiful pink noodles, just your typical, very beefy beef pho. So this bowl here costs 109,000 VND because we got the đặc biệt, which is the special, which is pretty much everything in there. But the pho here starts at only 59K, so it's really reasonable. So you get your typical pho with only one type of meat for 59K. So at the starting point, that's no different from anywhere else. But you get this specialty from the lab with the beautiful pink noodles and of course, the super healthy and delicious artichokes. Now that we finished with some more typical noodle soup with the pho, let's move on to something a little more unique, some Pho Rolls. Let's go. Ooh, look at this. Fresh, refreshing, looks kind of healthy too. All right, so here we have just the sheet where the pho roll is made from. So it's pretty much just one full sheet of the noodles, but after it's steamed up, nice big sheet, they cut them into these rectangles so things can be rolled. And of course, when they cut them up super thin, that's what you get in your bowl of noodles. Man, just tastes like noodles. We'll be rolling up a few of these pho rolls. So how do we start it up? Get a little piece of lettuce. Okay. Some cucumbers, lettuce, cilantro. Some of that beef here. Looks like it's been sauteed a bit. Here we go. How's that? Okay. Ooh. From the edges, and there we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Come on, thank you. All right, here we have our next pho dish. This is a Phở Cuốn, which is pho roll. This roll is actually from the north, from Hanoi, like pho is originally. After many years of being popular, it's finally made its way down to the south. I've never had this before. Slightly sticky, but you know, it holds it all together. But let's dive in for a taste. So this is a cold dish. It's nice, refreshing, savory, a little bit of, from the sauce, and you can taste the meat. It's kind of seasoned and fried up. But in here, this roll, it pretty much reminds me of the Vietnamese salad roll. You know, it's fresh, refreshing. You got the lettuce, got the cucumbers in there, but instead of having the bun noodles, you got the rice noodle in a big sheet rolled on the outside instead of in the inside. So delicious and great take on it. Love it. Here we have our next pho. This is a deep fried pho. It's also known as like a pho pillow just because of the shape of it. The way it's deep fried, it puffs up like a little pillow. So creates a little pocket so you can stuff all the filling in there. This too is also from Hanoi as well, from the same street as the roll, and I believe it's from the same family. So all that is brought down to get that, and here we have the next one. All right, let's dive in for the first bite here. So let's stuff this bad boy. A little bit of this. Of course, we need that beef in there though. Here we go. So this here is very unique, very delicious. These pillows, the deep fried pho, the pillows are so light, super crispy, quite flaky. It's like a perfect snack, perfect afternoon snack, perfect after school snack. Back home we got hot pockets or pizza pockets, but here we got pho pockets. So delicious. All right, so this is two really interesting and unique take on the classic dish pho. One of these bad boy here, they sell it by the single piece, so they cost 12K per one, so a plate of 5 is 60K. And for this here, it's 70K VND for this whole plate. Is it worth it? Hells yeah, super delicious, super light, refreshing snack. But next, we're moving on to sour pho. Let's see what that's like. All right, so we got the link and address below, but this place is a little hard to find, so just look out for that sign and follow the white rabbit.
Cái này là nó lại xuất phát từ Quảng Tây Trung Quốc thế kỷ 18, 19 thì ở bên đất nước Trung Quốc người ta di cư người thì qua Việt Nam, người thì qua các nước ở Đông Nam Á này. Sau này về Việt Nam này được người Hoa của Việt Nam này người ta cải biên đi rồi. Chính nguyên bản của nó thì không có rau, chỉ có bánh phở không thôi. Loại phở này khác hoàn toàn. Tại vì cái phở này nó có nước sốt của nó nên là mình phải trộn lên để nó ngấm đều lên thì ăn mình đi cảm nhận được cái ẩm thực này nó là như là
And it's all mixed and ready to go. That's actually really good. All the pho noodles, blanch, put in, and they doused it with a lot of that sour sauce, or the sauce that it came with. Then they put a lot of fried crispy taro shreds on top, then garnished with some nuts, and then some cilantro as well. And then there's some cucumbers, carrots, daikon, a little bit of all that all together in here. Give it a good mix, and once you eat it, oh my goodness, it's a like explosion of flavor and texture. You got that soft, you got that chewy, you got that crispy, you got that crunchy. It's refreshing. You get sweet and sour and savory all at once. The meat here is a bit of a chashu and as well as a pork sausage. So all that mixed in, flavor explosion and texture explosion. I got the special tatapet, which is everything all in one bowl, and this is only 50K. And when I come back here, heck yeah, this is something different from any other pho that I've had, and this might be the best I've had so far on this list, but we got one more place to go, and that's, well, we'll see when we get there. We'll see you there. All right, so here we are at our final spot, and here we are with the Phở Xào, which just means pho stir fried. And here in this restaurant, they got two kinds. They got like a chow mein style with like the deep fried noodles, and then all the toppings. And then here they just got the regular noodles, blanched, stir fried, same toppings, just different style of noodles underneath. So let's dive in and have a taste. So first off, this plate's got everything on there. They got some fried vegetables. I see lots of vegetables, some cauliflower, mushrooms, su choy, Shanghai bok choy, onions, carrots, beef of course, and then with that nice on a bed of noodles. Here we go. Let's go in for that bite. All right, so this is a really delicious saucy fried noodles. The noodles are a little bit different from like the pho noodles. It looks like it's really rough cut here. So you got some different shapes and textures, some thin, some thick, but all in all, really nice. The sauce is like a nice beefy gravy on top with all the vegetables. It reminds me slightly of a Chinese sap cao ao ho, which is like a wet fried beef noodles. Almost the same type of noodles, almost same toppings, but very similar. So this, just with a few extra Vietnamese toppings, so it gives it like that little extra Vietnamese taste and flair to it. So this hits home because this is something I could definitely see myself ordering takeout a lot now that I've discovered this. So next up, we're gonna try the deep fried one, you know. Again, same toppings, but different noodles. All right, so very similar to like the last noodle when it comes to taste, but except just the texture-wise, this is a very crispy and crunchy noodle here. This is just regular rice noodles, the exact same type of rice noodles, but deep fried. But still delicious. All right, so both of these are for 70K VND each. Really good deals, regardless. You can get this one or that one. But that's it for these. And finally, on to the main event, what we came here for, coming up. Hello, Mama Chow. So I'm Lawrence, I'm from Canada. I just wanted to ask, would you like to introduce yourself and tell me what's your inspiration for this restaurant?
Mình tên là Bùi Thị Dung. Tên thường gọi của khách hàng thân thiện là Mama Dung. Mình đến từ Nam Định, nhưng mà mình đã ở Sài Gòn, ở miền Nam là 40 mấy năm rồi. Khi mà cô mở cái quán này là lúc đó cô rất là buồn bởi vì cô đang bị bệnh. Xong cô nói là cô muốn mở một cái quán nho nhỏ siêu siêu để lấy động lực, lấy niềm vui hàng ngày để quên đi cái nỗi buồn của bệnh. Lúc đó cô nghĩ là ở khu này rất là nhiều khách Tây, khách châu Âu, châu Á này kia đó. Con cô và trong gia đình nói là mẹ hãy sáng tạo một món gì đó mà vừa Việt Nam vừa Tây đều thích. Thế ở nhà vẫn đang bán khoai tây chiên. Con gái cô nói là ở bên Canada có cái món như thế, con tả cho mẹ nghe. Thì mình cũng chưa từng đến Canada, nhưng nghe con tả cái món poutine của Canada thì mình mới nói là được rồi, để đó mẹ làm. Thế là cô mới nghĩ rằng phô mai nó muốn tan chảy thì nó phải có một lớp sốt ở bên trên. Khi nó tan chảy ra nó áo vào cái miếng khoai tây chiên giòn, chắc chắn là nó sẽ rất ngon kết hợp với cái sốt phở của mình.
And finally, here we have the main event, the Pho Poutine. Here they just call it Pho Poutine, and it's obviously inspired by the Canadian classic, a poutine, but as I expected, it is just a rendered down pho broth all into the gravy. So here we got some carrots, fried shallots on top, cilantro, broth, which is into a gravy, and of course lots of slices of beef. And yeah, let's dive in and have a taste. All right, let's give this thing a little bit of a mix here. Ooh wee, look at that. Oh, my goodness. Some of that beef and some fries. Here we go. Oh my God, this is a heart attack. So if you want me to compare this to like the pho or poutine, you know, there's gonna be the diehard poutine lovers and fans and the diehard pho lovers and fans who just wants the real authentic stuff. So there's no noodles here at all. But if you're talking about the flavors of the broth of like a beef pho with that broth and the beef and the condiments, all that rendered down to a perfect gravy on top of this, then if you want to talk about the poutine, you know, the cheese is not quite right, but you know, when you got the crispy French fries, some sort of cheese and a nice gravy on top, this is perfect. You know, it's not exactly a pho or a poutine, but it's the perfect combination and the best of both worlds. So this huge bowl right here is a large size, and this comes for 140 KVND. And they have a smaller portion for 90 KVND, so we'll put that price right here. Is it worth it? Hell yeah, especially for me with my love for pho and with my Canadian background. This like hits home and hits like every dopamine receptors in my body. So this is definitely something I would come back for. And yeah, this won't be my last time here, so. Now that was phenomenal. We went through 7 of the most unique pho in Saigon. We had everything from deep fried pho, pho poutine, and even pho in a roll. The one that stood out to me was the Ragu red wine pho. But let me know in the comments below which one would you like to try and what dish in Vietnam you'd like to see me try next. And I'll see you at the next spot.